God didn't let you love the wrong person to punish you. He let it happen to prepare you, because sometimes the lesson comes before the blessing. You prayed for real love, and then ended up with pain you didn't expect. You gave your heart, your time, your prayers, and still it fell apart. You asked God why He allowed it, but what if the heartbreak wasn't a detour? It was direction. Sometimes the wrong person teaches you what the right one will never have to. God uses the pain of counterfeit love to purify your heart, so when real love arrives, you'll recognize it and protect it, because truth is, the person who broke you might have been the one God used to build you, to reveal what's broken inside you. Sometimes God lets you love the wrong person, not to break you down, but to bring you face to face with what's been broken all along. You see, love has a way of revealing what pain tries to hide. That relationship didn't fail because you were unworthy. It failed because God was showing you the parts of your heart still bleeding from the past. Maybe you saw yourself start to overgive because deep down you feared being abandoned again. Maybe you stayed too long because you thought love meant fixing someone who never wanted to change. But God saw what you couldn't, and He allowed that relationship to become a mirror. Proverbs 20:30 says, "Sometimes it takes a painful experience to make us change our ways." That pain was the mirror God used to show you what you still needed to heal, because before God can give you someone new, He has to heal the old you. The heartbreak wasn't rejection, it was revelation. God wasn't taking something from you, He was showing you what can't go with you into your next season. To teach you the difference between attraction and assignment. Not everyone you're drawn to is sent by God. Sometimes the wrong person feels so right because they were never meant to stay. They were meant to show the enemy knows how to package distraction as destiny. That's why the wrong person often comes looking like an answered prayer. They sound right, feel right, even pray right, but something deep in your spirit never rests. God allows those relationships to awaken your discernment. He lets you taste what looks good, so you'll learn to wait for what's truly God. Because attraction is about chemistry, but assignment is about purpose. The wrong person may connect with your emotions, but the right one will align with your mission. One will pull you closer to your comfort zone. The other will pull you closer to your calling. And sometimes, you can't tell the difference until you've been deceived once. So if you loved someone who turned out to be a lesson, don't hate yourself for it. That love wasn't wasted. It trained your spirit to recognize divine alignment the next time it walks in. Because now, you'll know, if it costs your peace, it's not your portion. To strengthen your spiritual boundaries, loving the wrong person teaches you what sermons sometimes can't. That love without limits will drain you dry. You thought being a good Christian meant always forgiving, always giving, always staying. But God had to show you that love and boundaries can coexist, because real love doesn't ignore red flags in the name of grace. It recognizes that peace is a form of protection. When you let someone cross every line, you start mistaking pain for patience and chaos for chemistry, and God steps in, not because He's cruel, but because He loves you too much to let you keep bleeding for someone who was never meant to hold your heart. That heartbreak was heaven's intervention. It was God whispering, "You've been loving from your wounds, not from your wisdom." Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." So don't be ashamed for building walls now. You're not becoming cold, you're becoming clear. God was teaching you how to protect what He's healing. Because boundaries aren't walls to keep love out, they're gates to let the right love in. To prepare you for covenant, not convenience. The wrong person teaches you what the right one will require. You thought you were ready for love, until that relationship showed you how much real love actually costs. Convenience love is easy. It feels good, it fills the silence, it flatters the ego. But covenant love, the kind that lasts, demands patience, sacrifice, and maturity. God let you experience something temporary so you could understand what eternal commitment truly looks like. You learned that love isn't proven in chemistry, it's proven in consistency. You learned that passion can fade, but purpose keeps love alive. That almost relationship wasn't wasted time, it was training. It stripped away the fantasy so God could prepare you for faithfulness. Ephesians 5:25 says, "Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her." That's not casual love, that's covenant love. And before God gives you a love like that, he makes sure you understand the weight of it. Because what you went through wasn't to make you bitter, it was to make you ready. Ready for someone who doesn't just want your body, but your spirit. Ready for someone who prays with you, not just plays with you. Ready for someone who sees you as a promise, not a project. To prove that God alone completes you. Before God lets the right person find you, he'll make sure you no longer need them to be whole. You kept asking God for the one, but he knew that if he gave them to you too soon, you'd start worshiping the gift and forget the giver. That's why the wrong person was allowed, to reveal where your dependency really was. Because when they left, you didn't just lose them, you lost the version of yourself that believed love was the only thing that could save you. And in that emptiness, you finally discovered something sacred. God's presence was enough. Psalm 73:26 says, "My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever." He had to let that relationship end so you could realize that your worth isn't tied to who stays, but to who never leaves. Once you learn to stand whole with him, you'll never settle for someone who treats you like you're half, because the right person won't complete you. They'll complement what God already completed in you. Maybe God didn't let that love story work out because he was still writing yours. The heartbreak wasn't the ending, it was the awakening. God let you love the wrong person first, so when the right one arrives, you'll recognize them by peace, not pain. So don't rush the healing. Don't chase closure. Let God finish what that relationship started, because sometimes the lesson is the blessing. If this message spoke to you, drop "healed" in the comments as your declaration that your heart is no longer broken, it's being rebuilt. God never wastes pain. He repurposes it.